Howdy y'all, I'm Mickey. Here with a video that's not a hell of a boss reaction. Incredible. No, honestly, I've been meaning to do videos that aren't just those, but I've been busy and just bouncing all over the place and trying to keep a home clean while being busy is, I'm sure you know. But while I've been around trying to clean, I refound this! If you don't know what this is, which is very likely, it's a time capsule that I made when I was 9, I believe, and then have repeatedly set to be reopened at different points in time. It's kind of like a work in progress time capsule that I update periodically at different ages. That, I don't know, will end up with like my child or grandchild eventually to see who I was as a person their age. My second video I ever did on this channel was actually opening the time capsule and updating it, because it was set to be opened for my 18th birthday. When I closed and sealed it back up after that, I did set it to be open on my 21st birthday, which did not happen. That very much did not happen. So here we are now. A few years too late, but you know, better late than never. So let's just crack this thing open and see what we've got inside so far. Shall we? Okay, immediately off the bat, lots of paper. We've got a lot of paper in here. I've tried to organize the papers now into year. These are a series of like different lists and letters that I've written to my future selves from the different years. So we will start with 2009 and make our ways up to now. I'm gonna start with this one. This is my 9-year-old day-to-day schedule for Monday through Friday. 7:30, wake up. Absolutely not, never. I woke up at 10:30 today, and that's average. 11's about when I wake up. I'm nocturnal now. 7:30 to 8:20, get ready, snoozing. 8:20, leave for camp. Still sleeping. I'm still sleeping. 9 to 3, summer camp. Okay, I guess I wrote this over the summer. That would have, yes, about been when I was at summer camp. 3:15, go home. 3:15 to 8:30, free time. I just get to do whatever I want. But 8:30 to 9, I better be reading my books. And I don't know why I wrote this as separate, because I know at 9 years old I was probably spending most of that free time reading anyway. Gotta have that half hour in. Probably similar to now, how I have a daily goal of reading at least one chapter. I usually, when I sit down, read more than one chapter, but I'm trying to get good about reading consistently again. So daily goal of at least one chapter versus my 9-year-old goal of at least 30 minutes of reading. And then 9 o'clock bedtime. 9 o'clock, it's the middle of the day for me. I am wide awake, and I am not going to sleep until like 2 or 3. Of course, I was 9 here and had to wake up at 8:20 in the morning, so today is November 26, 2009. Okay, so I'm not at summer camp anymore. I'm no longer at summer camp. I am at school now. Fun facts about today. I have, as a teacher, yes, I was 4th grade. This is my 4th grade teacher. I am 9 years old. My sister calls me Sissy. She calls me Sis now, so not that far off. We share rooms. We stopped sharing rooms almost immediately after I wrote this. There is a part here in the middle of my list where in the background it says, I love you, you is my sissy, but then it's been erased, and over the top has been no fun for Kaden. Sad. She drew this little guy. Like she drew this little guy here who says he's sad. He is devastated. No idea what caused that. So here's a 15-year-old apology. Sorry for whatever prompted that guy. The 5th thing on my list. Hoverjets, flying cars, and awesome robots are not invented yet. Yeah, no, hoverjets, flying cars, and awesome robots have not been invented yet. We've got AI, but I'm not counting that. We've got a list here that's just my list of favorite things. My favorite sports are soccer and basketball. I don't really watch sports that much, but I do follow hockey, and that's about all the sporting you're getting out of me. Games, war and chess. Yeah, I did like war and chess when I was 9. I was very much a card and board game type child. Kind of shocked I didn't put Mancala. Mancala might have been a little older, but I was a Mancala fiend. I don't really play board games that often. My friends and I play Cards Against Humanity because Jack and I have like every expansion pack and a bunch of original cards. And so it never gets boring. But Jackbox. Jackbox is where it's at, honestly. Book, Palace of Mirrors. Palace of Mirrors and Just Ella. These books were everything to 9-year-old me. And everything to me until I was 12 or 13. I really liked these books, and I would read them at least once a year. I'm not sure how many times I've read these books all the way through. I didn't want to read new books. I wanted to spend my 30 minutes a day consuming these for the 40th time. And the last thing we have here is a card. I got gifted a card set for some reason. They've got little M's on them. I'm not sending cards very often, so I decided that these are just the letters that I'm going to write to my future self each time I update the box. This letter is very short because I was 9 years old. And it's, Dear people in the future, I have immediately broken my own heart. Anyway, by now, Millie should be an adult cat. I do not have that cat anymore. Yeah, I don't have her anymore. She's not dead, as far as I know. Wasn't last update I got, but the last update I got on her was Anakin's upset that I'm talking about someone who's not him. In regards to my cat, Maleficent, she wasn't dead last I heard, but I have not gotten an update on her since 2013, so I said my sister should be in 3rd grade, and I should be 13. So this letter was written for the next time I open the box. I'm not 13 now. Obviously, I hope. I'm not 13, YouTube. Stop turning my comments off because you think I'm a child. Hope you're having fun in the future. I'm getting by, little me. Getting by. And that's it. Love 9-year-old me. Simple, straight to the point. And that is what 9-year-old me had. I had a letter and a bunch of lists, because I love lists. At least that part hasn't changed. Where's my 2013 stuff? I actually think it's 2014. Every one of these has different names on it. Oops, I've found myself having opened these every time I changed my name. That's fun. But I did put it off for a year because middle school is middle school. And then I started high school. And so I thought it'd be fun to be like a freshman updating my lists here. This list is significantly more filled out than that first favorites list had been. So we'll go through here. Favorites, color, blue. Purple is a close second. My favorite color is blue. Closer to like cyan. It needs to be bright or it's not bright enough. Shows. TV. Attack on Titan, the only show I'm currently watching. I did not watch past season 1. R.I.P. Podcast. Welcome to Night Vale. Also gonna listen to the Thrilling Adventure Hour and Caucus Industries. I did not listen to either of those. I need to, though. I think the Thrilling Adventure Hour has Mark Evan Jacobs in it, doesn't it? And I need to listen to Caucus Industries if I'm listening to Welcome to Night Vale. I still listen to Welcome to Night Vale, at least, though. I still got that one. All 3 of these up here are Welcome to Night Vale posters from live shows I've been to. This is The Faceless Old Woman Who Secretly Lives in Your Home. Got a Welcome to Night Vale shelf over there, off camera. One of these shelves, that one down there. My graduation cap was Welcome to Night Vale themed, and Desert Bluffs. It was Night Vale and Desert Bluffs. If nothing else got me, I know Welcome to Night Vale got me. Other. Zombies Run. Cries about Sam and Jack and Eugene and Archie forever. I do love Sam and Jack and Eugene and Archie. I really fell off of doing Zombies Run. I've been trying to get enough time to do The Walk. If you don't, Zombies Run is a fitness app, but as you run, it unlocks this podcast that you can listen to. So you're like the main character in a podcast, and it gets you to work out by unlocking more of the podcast. With this compelling storyline and great characters and tragedy. It gets you emotionally attached to everyone in a zombie apocalypse. Surely that won't go bad. I fell off of exercising as much as I wanted. So I've been trying to do their other fitness app podcast thing, The Walk, which encourages you to walk, and then doing the walk, and then doing the Zombies Run couch to 5K, and then doing Zombies Run. I will run again someday. And then I'll get to see Sam and Jack and Eugene and Archie again. Or hear them. Sports. I just put haha, no. Yeah, fair enough. For games, I said that I was playing Silent Hill when Dee Dee came over, which I did maybe twice, because we would turn all the lights off and immerse ourselves in the Silent Hill atmosphere. And the second time we played it, her grandmother knocked on the door and it scared us so bad that I never put that game back in the console. My mom knew I liked horror but didn't know anything about horror, and so she went into a GameStop and asked them what the scariest game they currently had in stock was, and they said Silent Hill 2, and so she went, okay, purchased, and gave it to me, and it was too scary for 14-year-old me. Might try to get back around to playing that. I do love Pyramid Head, so, what do I say? Favorite books? So many. Harry Potter, and the Shadowhunter Chronicles, and Percy Jackson / The Heroes of Olympian books. That was a rough list there. That was a poorly aged list, we'll say. I love this next section. We're off of favorites now. I listed my family members. And I'm not sure if this was just to pad the space, or if this was in case I forgot who I'm related to. But it's who I was closest to. And I'm going to tell you right now, on this list, I talked to 3 of these people. 3 of the people that I put on this list, and one of them is my mother, and one of them is my sister. Talked to my mother, my sister, and one other person, which is crazy because there are 17 people on this list. And these were my closest family members. My family's massive. Yeah, isn't it crazy how time can go? My closest family, and there's 17 of them, and I don't talk to any of those people anymore. So I'm Facebook friends with some of these people, so I get their life updates when they update their Facebook status. But it really is crazy how fast somebody can go from being like a part of your family to someone you haven't spoken to in nearly a decade, like that. This isn't meant to be a sad thing either. I didn't have like falling outs with these people. We just stopped talking. Sometimes that's how life is. You get to choose who you spend your energy on and who you spend your time with. On a similar note, I have a list of my friends right underneath that. Dee Dee is the only one that I still speak to on the list. That's part of why I love this ongoing time capsule, though, because I can look back at the list of names and remember caring about these people, remember fondly how much these people meant to me. And I am friends with some of them on social media, so I get to see their lives progress. I get to see how they're doing. For all of the badness we associate with social media, I do appreciate that it allows me to check up on people that I once cared about, who, even if they no longer fit into my life as it stands and I no longer fit in theirs, we still get to check in every so often. You know, look over at somebody who meant a lot to us and be assured that they're doing well. You know, I'm happy they're doing well, even if we're not friends anymore. The very last bottom thing here is a self-portrait and a description of what I looked like. I have a feeling 14-year-old me knew that this was not gonna last. I had hair down to my shoulder blades. It was brown with blue ends. This is what my hair looked like. My next note confirms what I thought. I put that I was thinking about getting it chopped off. I wanted to cut all my hair off and get it short at my next hair appointment. And I put, who knows, you do, you know. I do know, yeah, because all my hair, actually, I really need a haircut right now. I got way too much hair going on. I did not, in fact, get my hair cut at my next hair appointment because a girl that I liked too much and put way too much weight on her opinion said I wouldn't look good with it, so, you know, didn't get it cut for the next 2 years. I just continued dyeing it wild colors. I did eventually chop it all off, as I should have in the first place, but, you know, you live and you learn. I had purple glasses, which was the last time that I had colored frames, and then I switched to black glasses that are this shape, and I decided that I was going to just wear those glasses forever for the rest of my life. Every eye appointment, I just get new versions of the same frames I was already wearing. I put freckles. Was I going to stop having freckles? And then I have a drawing. Very lifelike, accurate depiction of what I looked like at that point in time. A second one of these. Today is November 22nd, 2014. I believe this was a project in a class I had. One of my teachers had us write to our future selves, and I went, perfect, I'll put it in the time capsule. Fun facts about today. Number 1, I am a freshman at high school, and I am currently on my 6th biology honors teacher. Freshman year of high school, I had 7 biology teachers because they kept getting fired. It was crazy. It was wild. I also had 2 English teachers because the first one wasn't, his paperwork wasn't approved in time. And so we had a sub, an extended sub for the first 1 or 2 months of the year. And a different class, the teacher we had at the beginning of the year was supposed to be a long-term sub, while the actual teacher was on maternity leave or medical leave or something. But the actual teacher just never came. So the long-term sub was the actual teacher for the whole school year. Anyway, that place was kind of a mess. What a disaster. But I turned out fine, so. Only just talking to a camera by myself in my room. 2. I am 14, turning 15 in 2 months. Currently, I am 24, turning 25 in 3 months. 3. My sister calls me sis now. Blank does too, sometimes. Not anymore. I do not talk to that child anymore. 4. We have different rooms. We plan on moving after New Year's. We did. Very briefly. It's a whole thing that I'm not gonna get into on YouTube.com. 5. Hover jets, flying cars, and awesome robots have been invented but are not open for public use yet. To an extent. The hover jets, I think I was thinking of the water things. You can get on the, water board and it shoots the water and you can float above the water. That looks fun. I would die if I did that. Flying cars. They're aren't they just airplanes that are shaped different? Anyway, that seems like a terrible idea. Now, after living in Orlando traffic for enough time, I can say we don't need cars in the sky and the ground. People can't handle the ground. Awesome robots. I don't know about that. I think robots could be cool. They could be cool. As it stands, with the people making the robots, they're not. Also, I developed such a strong viewpoint in college of we should not be trying to make sapient AI until we can agree that all humans need rights, and I'm gonna stand by that. If we're fighting about if all humans deserve rights, why are we trying to make new people who aren't gonna have rights? We don't need to be offering more people into the mix until we don't have a portion of the population that believes some people aren't people. We don't need awesome robots. We need to chill on the robots, maybe. 6. I have a rather large crush on... Not anymore. No, that didn't end well. 7 and 8. 7 and 8, I'm gonna combine. I think I'm agender, asexual, and demi-pan-romantic. 2/3 of the way, so we'll consider it that. I'm probably Grey-Ro, but gay. Ain't no pan here. Gay. 9. I'm in the anime club and GSA. I'm gonna stand by that the anime club was fun because all we did in the anime club is we would watch the first 1 or 2 episodes of various animes, and it was meant to introduce you to shows that you might be interested in. I think it was a decent concept. Unfortunately, it had to be disbanded because we only had 1 day a week that clubs could meet freshman year, and the population of the anime club and the population of the GSA was the same population, and so only one of the clubs could survive. Obviously, the GSA was more important, so RIP Anime Club. I went on to be on the board of the GSA too for 2 years. That was fun. Glad that one stuck around. 10. I am fandom trash. Same. 10. I am fandom trash. Same, even if I wouldn't use the very 2014 language now. And love Zombies Run, Welcome to Night Vale. Already talked about those two. Homestuck. Attack on Titan. The Shadowhunter Chronicles. And Black Butler, which I'm not... Oof. I remember so little about Black Butler. And now we're on to the letter from 2014 me, which has significantly more words on it than my 9-year-old self wrote. Dear future me. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to deal with 14-year-old me. Lovely to look back at the past, but I am unfortunately 14 years old writing this. How well do you remember me? Not well. How often do you remember that I, at one point, was you? Unfortunately often. I exist now as I write this letter, but when you read it, I will no longer exist. That is how the passage of time works, corrects 14-year-old me. Having an existential crisis in a letter to my future self. Do you remember things from when you were me? Vaguely. It was 10 years ago. Do you remember the fear of the first day of high school? The excitement to make new friends? Not at all. No. I went to school and said, oh, it's Dee Dee, and I hung out with her. And then there were a group of kids dressed as Homestuck characters, and I went, I might as well just talk to these ones. How many creative writers are there left? Ooh, not many. I think we had 17 by the time we graduated. I spend my time preparing to read more SNK manga and Homestuck, while you're probably preparing for college. I did read more Attack on Titan than I watched. Stopped reading it as well. Homestuck I read to the end. I haven't read Homestuck 2. Should I read Homestuck 2? Should I play Hive Swap? I do not need to fall back into Homestuck, is what I'm gonna stick with now, is I do not need that in my life at the moment. Preparing for college. Funny enough, vaguely, yes, but not in the way that I meant it. Did you get accepted into any yet? I have a bachelor's. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. Even if you haven't, good for you for trying and for living. Thank you, 14-year-old me. I do appreciate that. Do you remember the butterflies that I get when Redacted stares at me for too long or calls me cute? Do you still feel those, or are they just a fond memory, or could they be a painful one? They're one I just try not to remember at all. Oh, both you and I know how unpredictable life is, and you know much that I still must learn. Whatever hardships I endure, I turn into you, so it can't be all bad. Oh, and by the way, happy birthday, because I am supposed to open these on my birthday. That was cute. That was cute. I like that I got wholesome at the end there, and not just very 2014 existentialism, and I'm definitely not going to say that the reason it turned that way is I was watching too much Dan Howell at the time, but I'm not saying that. 2014 was a time, and I was also unfortunately in high school. Speaking of high school, I suppose these were also ran in high school, 2018, but I was almost out. Everyone knows the second semester of senior year doesn't count. Which one should I start with? Which one? I'll start with my favorites, my list of favorites. 2018. Shows. Andy Mack. I love my gay Jewish son. That is Cyrus Goodman, the first gay Disney character among the 20 other first gay Disney characters. Shadowhunters, and then I shade one of the actors who did drop slurs in a live stream. That was crazy. And I don't really like it, but I write fanfics about it, so... The Walking Dead. Listen, I love the comics. I love the Walking Dead comics. I love the Walking Dead comics. I loved the Walking Dead, but as I put here, I really only like Aaron, Eric, and Maggie. I loved the Walking Dead. Do you know how bad it hurts to have something that you are, like, hyper fixated on and it just turns bad? And you lose it? Heartbreak like no other. I do still have my little Walking Dead section over there with my Aaron and Eric stuff. So The Walking Dead lives on in my room, even if it's not something that I'm doing anything with anymore. Podcast, still Welcome to Night Vale. I've got both books too. There are 3 books now. Well, there's 3 novels and then a bunch of physical transcripts. I don't have the transcripts, I do have the novels and the posters and the shelf. We've been over this. I love Welcome to Night Vale. It's been over a decade. I've got to start the Adventure Zone soon. I feel like I'm gonna be opening this box when I'm like 40, and every update's gonna be like, I've gotta start the Adventure Zone. I really need to start listening to the Adventure Zone sometime. It hasn't happened. It has not happened. I'm gonna put Zombies Run in this category. Similar thing. I did not get too far. I think I got to season 2. I'm gonna start over again when I get back to it. I didn't get too far, but those characters mean so much to me that I just keep them in my heart. Sport. Hockey. Yes, the only sport I still follow. I did put the Sharks here as the team I was supporting. I do still follow them. I keep up to date with the Sharks. They got rid of my favorite players, so I'm not that invested anymore. More likely you're gonna hear me rooting for the Bolts now, because Florida. There's the Panthers too, but go Bolts. For books, I put The Prince of Los Cucuyos and Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I do like The Prince of Los Cucuyos. It's by Richard Blanco. If you didn't know, it's a memoir. I studied Richard Blanco in high school, and then I got to meet him. It was a whole fun thing. It was great. I do like that book. I do like Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Good choices. The Welcome to Night Vale books, yes, I agree. And then I put in parentheses, I haven't read it yet, but I'm about to read Vanilla, and I expect to love it because I love Billy Merle. I have that one with me. Vanilla, Billy Merle. I did like it. I do like it. I like Billy Merle. It also has an asexual protagonist, and he uses the words asexual, homo, romantic to describe himself. One of the other POV characters that's introduced later is non-binary. It's so fun. It's so fun. The book hurts, but it was nice to have characters who were like me. I've got this little drawing he did of his pug. It says, yay, ace and non-binary rep, with a little genderqueer flag there, and then his little note from when I went and talked to him about the book. Thanks, Billy. The book's also written like poetry. It's a novel, but it's written in a poetic form. I think that's really fun. I think it suits it, and I like it because that's how I write poems. What's genre? What's form? Psh, get rid of that. I don't care about any of that. I appreciate a good novel that will ditch it as well. That might be why I like Only Revolutions. I need to read House of Leaves. Color, blue. Same. Games, Borderlands 2. I love Zero so much. Oh my gosh, is Borderlands 3 out? It is. Right here. I still love Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is still my favorite video game that I've played. I don't know if it was visible when I was showing my Walking Dead shelf there, but the other half of the shelf that's not Aaron and Eric is Zero. And then I've got Claptrap and Handsome Jack there, and a Zero print there, and multiple Borderlands prints over there, and a Borderlands shirt and hat. And it's everywhere. Borderlands has taken over all of the walls. I perhaps like the game a little bit. Second game I put is Alice the Madness Returns, which I said I like because it's creepy but not scary, which is my favorite balance. I agree with that. Speaking of video game prints over there, I have an Alice the Madness Returns one next to my Borderlands ones. I do like stuff that relies on being like psychological horror and being creepy and unnerving and disturbing without jump scares. And Alice the Madness Returns is, from what I remember, a really good, relying on the darkness, but like you're not getting jump scared all the time. I like creepy. I don't like getting jump scared unless I'm at Halloween Horror Nights. But that's its own thing. And the last thing I put is The Office Type is in production, and I'm excited about it. I have not thought about The Office Type since I closed this book. I like wrote that down, put it in the time capsule, and just put all memory of that game in the time capsule with it. Did that game ever come out? If you don't know, it was supposed to be a dating sim where they were like humanized forms of office supplies. So it was like pencil and stapler and whatever. Let's see, is it out yet? No. It does look like the game's about to come out though. It does, they said they're in the final works of this game where you can date office supplies. See, when it comes out, maybe it subjects you guys to me romancing office supplies. Oh my gosh, I drew myself again. There's a little portrait of me, except it looks like me now. Me, short, dark brown hair. I want it shorter. Right now it's as short as possible without crossing into a boy's haircut, which is off limit. Yeah, that was a thing. I caught it cut right after this. As you can maybe see from my little drawing there, my hair was about the length it is right now. And like then, like now, it needs to be chopped off. My glasses are navy blue. I was wrong about my purple glasses being the last colored ones I had. I don't remember having navy blue glasses. They must have looked just like these, but navy blue instead of black. Anyway, the last 3 times I've gotten glasses, they've been black, so forgive me for not remembering the navy. And then I put notes that I had started binding and wearing baggier clothes and more social transitioning, which yes, I had. This one, I actually wrote it on my birthday. Today is January 25th, 2018. That's lovely. I actually did it on my birthday. None of these, aside from my 18th, have actually been done on the correct day. Fun facts about today. 1. I am a senior in high school. I applied to 3 colleges and got accepted into all of them, but have made no move to admit myself or sort out housing yet. Yes, I did. I applied to 3, got into them. 1 was in my hometown, 1 was in Orlando, but was a private college, and so I would have had to pay money instead of having my scholarship pay for it. And then the 3rd one was UCF, which is where I ended up going. I needed to move away, but I did not need to go thousands in debt. 2, I turned 18 today and got my driver's license. I did. I had my permit for like 3 years. Got my license on my 18th birthday. They gave me a little toy car as like a gift for my birthday and for getting my license. I got to have a little car. And now I have a little squid cat that drives the car. 3, my sister is the only person in my family I'm fully out to. Not anymore. I do a fun thing where I just fully come out on social media and then I wait for my family to see that this has happened. I don't know. I don't do like formal coming outs. I don't know. That's too much talking about emotion for me. I'd prefer not to. And when I was 19, my mom just texted me and was like, so you're non-binary? And I went, yes, correct. And she went, okay. And I went, okay. Done. Obviously, I'm lucky that it's that easy, but that's that's how my mom and I communicate. She goes, ah, and I go, ah, and she goes, and I go. 4, we are back at the same house that we were at since I was young. Yeah, it's like, 4, we are still at the house. I plan on moving away to Orlando in a few months, though, and I've been here since. 5, I love robots so much. Hoverboards were a meme for a while, but they weren't actually hovering boards. I've also really gotten into cryptids recently. My favorite is Nessie. Yes, slay. I love my girl Nessie. Another one that I've just got a portion of my room dedicated to Nessie and Scotland in general over here. 6, I just started a YouTube channel and it's something I'm very excited about. Hi YouTube! I'm still excited about you even if like never here. 7, I'm out as agender to pretty much everyone but family. Not anymore. I bind fairly often, yes. And I have vague hopes for top surgery one day. Samesies, if it didn't cost 10 grand out of pocket, would likely be much more feasible. As it is, I'm poor, so it will remain one day. 8, asexual, demi-romantic, gray romantic, but whatever. Gay, question mark, yes. Queer works well, as does Orbisian, I'm finding. Yeah, I just stick with gay. Gay. 9, I am the vice president of my school's GSA. I was the secretary last year. I worked at the Jacksonville Queer Youth Support Group over the summer and directed a workshop on gender in November. I did so much stuff in person back then. It was fun. I kind of miss it. And 10, I put, I still like me some fandoms. Welcome to Ninth Vale. Obviously. The Walking Dead, mostly just Aaron, Eric, and Maggie. Andy Mack, Shadowhunters, Zombies Run, and R.I.P. Rooster Teeth / Achievement Hunter. Rest in pieces. Ooh, this one's sealed. It's my letter from 2018. This one, I sealed it shut. It's never been opened before. I have no idea what this thing says. I didn't, like, rewatch. I don't know if I said what I was writing or any idea of what I was putting inside the box for the video I did. I didn't rewatch it because I didn't want spoilers of what was in this thing. I don't know what this thing says. Oh my gosh, there are somehow more words than when I was 2014. Why do I love yapping so much? Dear future me, How's college been so far? I'm out of there. I haven't even enrolled yet. I can't imagine being a student. It was so much better than high school. Especially because the second half of it was entirely online. Shout out to the world shutting down. If it hasn't been great, well, at least you only have a little bit left, if you're still there. I know I barely go to school now. I really did not go to school in high school. I wasn't 16 anymore. I did not want to show up to that place. I graduated, though. I graduated with decent grades. I just didn't want to physically be there. Don't worry, college, I didn't have to show up to anything. I showed up to my computer. Pretty obvious question, but any cute girls? This is your cue to gush about your girlfriend if you have one.
This is where I'd put a trophy. If I had one!
Don't worry, past me, there is nothing to talk about here. I heard there are some attractive office supplies coming to a Steam service near you soon, though, so... Do you ever look back at the writing you did when you were me? No, it's at my mom's house. I want to. It's just genuinely, they had me writing so much at that school, I don't have the room for it here. I like my poetry now, but I'm not fond of my fiction. Do you see it as something sentimental? Or is it worse for you than it is for me? Sentimental, definitely. There's like an early point right after you write something where you cringe at it because you're like, oh gosh, that's horrible. But then more time goes and you're like, aww, I was so little writing these things. At least for me. The cringe only lasts temporarily. There's a whole paragraph here where I started with kind of personal, but you're me, so I'm not too concerned. Any gender updates? No, because I'm still poor. Gender update. Still don't got one. That's the update. I've started a YouTube channel, like, right now. It's just a little baby, but it's my little baby. Do I still make videos when I'm you? Does YouTube still exist? It does. It does. TikTok exists now, didn't then. I'm more likely to do TikTok, but I do still like YouTube. I watch YouTube much more than I post on it. Trust me, YouTube, still here. Hey, so you can now legally drink. I'm sure that's a lot of fun. I'll let you get back to that. Love, Mickey. What life did I think I was going to be living? I can legally drink. I like to. I'm not right now. I'm about to go to work. I'm going to go legally drink a Dr. Pepper. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I think that about does it for the paper portion. Lot of reading. Oh my gosh. Hit my 30 minutes of reading today. Just reading everything I've written to my future selves. Just yapping in writing form. Because this box is still not empty. There's still things in here that aren't paper to look at. So we'll move on to those. It's nighttime now. I did have to go to work. But I'm back, and with a nice little alcoholic lemonade to fulfill my 18-year-old self's wishes for my current self. Now let's get into the non-paper items. The rest of the stuff inside the box is just random stuff that I've thrown in that I guess I thought I would like to look back on fondly. This one, I can show you almost none of this, or I will show you almost none of this. It's my high school ID, and they were meant to hang on lanyards. I have the school-provided lanyard. I didn't use this. I used a gay lanyard. But each year had a color, and it was like a rotating thing. My class's color was red, so I have this, and then this ID was supposed to go onto the end, the clip thing, but it doesn't have the hole punched at the top. It has no hole, so I had to get it reprinted and redone. This is my 9th grade freshman photo. This is my first ID. That's me in my Attack on Titan shirt that I wore to the picture day. Because of course I did. It was 2014. I genuinely did not watch that show past season 1. I cared so intensely about it for all of maybe 5 months. And now I eternally have a little Marco that watches over everything I do because he's hung up on my picture wall. Sometimes even the briefest things stick with us forever. Speaking of, we have a rainbow loom bracelet in here that my sister made me. She had a rainbow loom, she loved making stuff with it, and she would make me things. This one, specifically, is the one that's stuck around. It's red and blue because it is a Solux captor bracelet. It is very much a Solux-based bracelet. It's from my Homestuck era. she would make me random combinations. I know at some point I had a brown and purple one for Gamtav. The only one I kept around has been the Solix one. We have a little rainbow patch in here. Maybe just a reminder to myself that I'm gay. It's a patch off of sweatpants that I actually still have. They came with like patches ironed on. The material for the sweatpants isn't very good for keeping things on it. It's a very slick material, and all the patches just fell off and I kept the gay one. No sentimentality other than it being gay. We have a shell. It has the purple inside. It's just really nice. I'm not sure, my camera's cheap, I'm sure you noticed the quality. I'm not sure it's gonna pick up the color quite correctly, but it's a full shell. I don't collect shells from the beach anymore. I know the creatures need them, but I do have some from previous excursions, and this is one of my complete shells. I used to go to the beach a lot more often in general. This one I know is from when I was 18. It's LGBT, it's a Pride Blocks. It says bi on the back, but LGBT. The Pride Blocks I know is from when I was 18 because it's from my GSA. I had 2 Pride Blocks. The second one here, the Love is Love Pride Blocks, I still have up on my desk, chilling with all of my other doodads. And the importance, in a way, of it is that when I was making videos, when I first started making videos and I was still living at my mom's house and I filmed in front of that bookshelf, the other Pride Blocks, the Love is Love one that I just showed, sat on my bookshelf. It was part of my, like, original YouTube filming location. Now we are on to the things that I have no backstory for because I don't know why I put these in here. I have a Color Explosion Crayola marker. I think this is one of those ones that they don't actually have like colored ink inside of them. They just activate the pages. This one's not Crayola. It's not Crayola, but it's like these. It's one of the ones where it doesn't draw, it just colors in the page when the ink touches it. Don't ask why I have one of these. Now I will buy anything if you slap this little fish kit on it. But I did these a lot more often when I was little. Especially because back then I would visit family in a different state, and so I would do them in like the airplane, or like I was a child pre-smartphones, and so there wasn't like a tablet, you colored. That coloring Hello Kitty coloring pages, that's how I spent my days. Back in my day, you did Crayola Color Explosion 3D booklets and you liked it. Yeah, also made a billion gray orbs out of clay. I know that these are in here. Every time I open this thing, I remember the gray orbs. They're never a surprise. I have no idea what they are or why I put them in here. I don't know what significance my 9-year-old self was trying to bestow upon these orbs, putting them into the box. I just know that's where they live now. It would have made more sense for these orbs to have been here if I had made this box like 2 years later, when I spent a couple weeks away from home and I had a lot of clay creations that I did when I was in a different state. But 9, I don't know. The orbs live in the box. It's their box. They get to stay. The last thing in here, it's a Jumanji piece. It's from Jumanji. It's a little Jumanji rhino. I don't know. I'm assuming the new Jumanji movie had come out and I went and saw it, and I somehow acquired this piece. If I had made this box just a little later, it would have made more sense because I've played Jumanji. I've actually played the board game with my friends, but I did that in college. I did it sophomore year of college. So again, 2 years later, this would have had emotional significance. Although I suppose I'm bestowing emotional significance upon it post its edition. Isn't that fun? Even if it didn't have an emotional reason why I had put it in there, it has one now. It has memories that I can think of fondly now when looking back at it, even if that wasn't the original intention. And with that, the box is empty because I never thought to put any of the stuff that you would actually put in a time capsule. I put orbs and rhinos. Even my 18-year-old self was no help there. Okay, I've got the things to put in the box this time. I've got things. I don't know if I showed what I was putting in the box when I put them in the box, and the first time I did this, again, I have not seen that video in a while. But I've got it. I've got all of my papers. Interestingly enough, or at least I thought it was interesting, I did have one more of that M card, but it was the last one in the set. I have no more of the cards that I've been using to update this box. And this is also the time that I don't know when I'm going to reopen it. I don't know if I'm going to put a date on the box, because every previous time I've put like a open on this date, and whether or not I've successfully done it on the date, you know, I haven't always. At least I had like an idea for when I wanted to open it, and I don't know. My instinct would be 30, but I cannot conceptualize being 30 years old. Even though it's only 5 years away, I can't conceptualize that. I cannot comprehend being a 30-year-old person, and so we'll leave it. A vague thing. But I also kind of didn't know what to say. All of my previous goes for like what I wrote for my future self, I had an idea of where I was going to be, right? 9, I was just writing whatever. And I knew I was going to open it when I was 13. I opened it when I was 14, but I was supposed to open it when I was 13. It was going to be a whole thing where I was going to be a teenager, but I actually opened it when I was a freshman. It was my first year of high school, and then I set it to be opened my last year of high school when I was transitioning in life in multiple ways. And then when I was 18, I set it to be opened when I was 21. Failed that one, but I had the intention of it being like, I was going to be hitting 21. I was going to be like marked as like a real adult, and I was going to be in college. I have no clue what I am going to be doing in 5 years. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I don't. Not in like a negative way. I just genuinely cannot comprehend where I will be at 30. I don't have future plans right now. Not long term. I do stuff. I have friends. I promise. Anyway, I thought it was fun that when I ran out of like actual plans and actual like ideas for what my future was going to be, I ran out of cards. I had as much cards as I had plans, and now I'm out of both. Anyway, items! For the first little thing, because this box is kind of empty, and I felt bad, I'm going to stick with the silly theme. The silly, like, what does this have to do with this? Nothing. So Wendy's, hear me out, Wendy's did a thing a while ago, where the gift for the kids' meals was Play-Doh dinosaurs, where you got little molds. They gave you molds, and they gave you Play-Doh, and you could make dinosaurs with the Play-Doh. And me and Jack and my parents spent way too much money at Wendy's so that we could get all of the dinosaurs, except now I have all of mine and Jack's and all of my mom's. So I got all of the duplicates I had. All of the duplicate dinosaurs that I had. And I got the 2 duplicate colors I had, which was yellow and green. And then I got the duplicate little wax mat to do it on, the red. And I'm going to throw those in. What's the emotional significance? I love dinosaurs. I've always loved dinosaurs, so that's the significance for that one. And then I figured I would try to throw in like actual time capsule stuff, like actual things that would make sense for a time capsule. So, Polaroids. I have a Polaroid camera. I got a picture of Anakin at 2 years old, so I can look back at my beautiful baby boy when he was a beautiful little baby boy, which he is right now. So I've got Anakin, and then I thought it would make sense to get a picture of what me and Jack look like, but it turns out that this Polaroid will not allow me to be in a Polaroid. I can't something has happened. I cannot show up in my Polaroid photos anymore. So I tried 3 times. This is what future me is getting, because this is the best one I could get and I'm still cut off. And then they started refusing to develop. They won't develop properly if my face is fully in them. Don't know what I did to the Polaroid camera, but I'm not allowed to be in the pictures. Anyway, future me gets to dig through that and try and suss out what I looked like. You know, as if every other photo I have of myself right now is going to cease to exist, and also, I'm gonna just forget what I look like. I thought it'd be quirky and fun to do the Polaroids, and it didn't work. The Polaroid camera hates me. It's fine. Then obviously I have the papers to add in, but I wanted to try one last touch that I thought it'd be a fun little thing to do to add to the box. Bum, 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 bum. The second shoebox has hit the YouTube video. I got a second box. It's titled, and duct tape there, The Mickey Archives. My friend got it for me for my 21st birthday, which is when I was supposed to open the box. I'm sure you can't guess what kind of recording device may be held within the Mickey Archives here. Boom. It's my tape recorder, and along with all of the books and music I have to listen to on the tape recorder, my friend also gave me blank tapes along with the recorder to record my own statements about whatever it is I feel like recording statements about. I thought it might be a fun touch to maybe audibly record some of the stuff from the papers and then put the tape in there as well, and then it'd be like a mark of my voice as well, because all goes well, my voice will not sound the same. And I feel like it would also just add a level of personhood to it, because my handwriting hasn't changed from the 2014 one, so this is just a little sparkle of pizzazz, of personality, just a little bit more of me in the box, because that's what everything I have needs, more of me. Gonna make sure I'm recording on side A here. I have finally figured out how this works. So now, not only will my experiences exist in the written word, but also recorded and immortalized on tape the way the web intended. I mean, technically I'm serving the spiral, but okay, assuming it's the red button. Statement of Mickey Chaos regarding being 24. Mickey Chaos regarding 24. Okay, I figured it out eventually. There's stuff on this now. The tape was whispering to me as I was trying to record my statements, and I couldn't figure out what it was saying. But I did eventually just read some of the stuff from my list of fun facts. So slay. Sure, yeah, we'll title the beginning of what I have there, from Mickey circa 2024 on side A. You know, it'd be a fun thing to have put together a mixtape of the songs I like that are popular right now, or what's on my most listened to playlist right now, and recorded all of that onto a tape and thrown that in there. But that seems like so much more effort than what I am going to be doing right now. Random statement of me recording some of the written stuff. That's what I'm getting. That's what future me gets, because that's what I'm willing to give. And then I will return this seemingly possessed tape recorder to its home, back in the box. All the papers get to go back to chilling in the time capsule, including all the new ones. And we will once again shut this, and here it will remain shut until one day in the future it is once again opened by a version of me that does not exist yet, and will not remember what is in this, except for the orbs. And that was a look into and an updating of my time capsule, again, for the second time since this channel started. I don't know how I feel overall about this. I don't know. The passage of time is just weird. So many versions of me. They're all me. But each version of me that puts something in this box, every version of me that has approached this and left a part of myself, if not just weird things and my writing. Each of those, they were so different from each other. I give myself enough time, hopefully, between each reopening of it, that I'll have undergone some character growth, as we are all developing further and further through our own stories of life, always. But I do think it's fun to think about how different each of these versions of me have been. Especially because, like, one was a kid, and then one was an angsty, recently traumatized, barely a teenager, and then one of them was a depressed, older teenager, and then one's a vibing adult. They're all me, but they're not the me that is now. The wonders of aging, the wonders of time. I don't know how to say all of the like, deep stuff in a meaningful way. It's 3 a.m. Time weird. Time weird. Aging weird. Being a person weird. Anywho, unrelated from that, when I came across the box again while cleaning, I thought it would be fun to go back into it because I had missed when I was supposed to, but also to have that be the first non-reaction video that I posted back on the channel as a, like, will I be back? My heart says I hope so. My track record says... But I thought the best way, if I was going to try and give it a shot again, because I was consistent about posting when I first started, kind of, the best way to start again into the future was potentially drawing from the past. That being my old videos. All that to say, I thought it would be fun if my video back was like a redone version of a video that I had already done, but with updated stuff. It might do another thing where I kind of reintroduce who I am now in the current day. Might be its own thing, might be a part of a different video. We'll see. Thinking about potential videos that may or may not be and have a chance of being shown the light of the internet, and thinking about a box that's gonna go rest on a shelf for years holding pieces of myself that no longer are until I once again open and reveal them to the light of whatever future exists out there for me. Thinking about a lot of things that may be one day to come. But for now, this is it. Ciao!